Hey guys, Junko Bodie back today to do another video on how to win at the game of roulette. But before I do, I just want to say that I'm not a hype guy. I know a lot of people think that, a lot of the folks that do gambling videos are really about hype, and that's not really who I am. I don't encourage people to gamble. In fact, I think most people shouldn't gamble because they're not very good at it. But I do believe there's a percentage of people out there who want to get better and want to learn process and are looking for ways to be able to go in a casino and have a good time and make a few bucks. And that's why I do these videos. I didn't start this site to do roulette videos. Really, I put it together to promote my second book, How to Win at Roulette, and let people know what I was about. How I approached the game. And so, but this has been great, and I've really enjoyed, building the community that we built out here. And I really like putting the videos out now, and I get a lot of great feedback, which makes it great for me because as a retired guy, it's good for me to read emails and hear how people are doing. So I just want to thank the people who are sending me emails and that make this site worthwhile for me. Hey, so today's video is on how to win $200 a day for the rest of your life. Now, when I say that, I'm not advocating that everybody goes out every day and plays every day to win $200. I live in a casino town. I'm retired, so I got nothing better to do. But I know I did want to put it out there though because this is a great way to take a six strategy setup and win $200 very quickly and only be in the casino for 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes maximum. And so I'm going to show you how this system works, how these six plays work. You've seen a lot of these videos before on my individual strategies, but we're going to go through today and I'm going to show you how to make a few bucks in the casino. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that and put out my simulator here. Remember now, a lot of people think that $500 or $200 a day is not very much money, but if you do it 5 days a week, it's 52 grand a year. And if you just do it one day a week, you're making over 10,000, which is enough to pay for a pretty nice vacation. And if you're a high roller, you just do it a couple of times a day and you make 100 grand, which is like making 200 grand in my neighborhood, right? So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and play the six strategies out. We're going to make the $200 and you'll get a great sense of how this works. And I'm going to start with my Twin Pines strategy. Oops, I don't want to do it with 100. So I'm going to do it with $1 units. And that's another thing here is this is a really not a high dollar strategy. It's really manageable. So if you've got a limited bankroll, and most of the questions I get, if I were to say, what are most of the questions you get? What are they on? It's on bankroll. Most people say I have a limited bankroll. How do I play? Or I don't want to play high maximum or minimum tables. How could I play? This is a great way to start. You get an $8 bet here. You could make it $2 and you could play at almost any table in Vegas. So we're going to start here. We got a 23, which wipes out both of our bets. We get a $10 profit. Because I did it I'm just going to rebet and play it again like I didn't win. And so that I can just get the extra profit. So we're up $10 to start after the first spin. Let's see how we do here again. So now we get a 2 and we're going to win the first spine over here. So these 4 bets are winners. And now we just double up on the second spine. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go $2 each here. Only an $8 bet. This is our first of 2 doubles. If the way most of my strategies work is if I lose the first bet, I double, and if I lose the second bet, I double again, and then I manage from there. But we got a hit there. So after the first strategy, we're up $21 after twin spine. 1 down, 5 to go, and we are 2 minutes into this demo. Okay, so now we're going to play 6 diamonds. 6 diamonds is just how it sounds. It's 6 corner bets. You can play them anywhere on the board as long as they don't overlap. This is my preferred way of playing it because it covers some of my favorite numbers. Okay, and the idea is to win enough here to get a good profit, $10 or $15. We'll see how it plays out. 27, I believe, is a miss. Okay, so like all the other strategies, we're just going to rebet and double. And now we've got a $12 bet out there. Started with a $6 bet. Now we got a $12 bet. Okay, after 1 spin, there's a 33. That's a win. Okay, so now that that's a win, we just remove that diamond. for that hit, the 33 diamond right there. Okay, keep the other bets the same, and we spin again. We're at $21 now, which is exactly where we started, but we got some nice bets out there. There's an 11, that's a win. That's going to pay us another $8. Okay, so now we're at 29. We started with 21. I'm going to just take that bet off at 11. Okay, leave the rest of the bets the same. We got 4 bets out there again for $8. And we spin. Again, this is called 6 diamonds. And we're trying to get to our second win, but we didn't. The 0 got in our way there. Okay, so now we're going to go that last double. Here we go. We have $4 out there now. 4 times 4 is 16. There's our check, and we spin. We're up $21 on the session, which is exactly where we started. There's 24. That's a win. Let's see how much that pays us. $20. So we're now at 41. That's enough to get us out. Okay, three wins there. Pretty simple stuff, right? That's the 6 diamond strategy. So far, we've satisfied twin spines and 6 diamonds. Our next strategy to play is 10 to win. Now, those of you who watch a lot of my videos know that 10 to win is one of my favorite, but also most feared strategies, because you only get 10 spins, so you better be right when you pick your entry point. And if you lose in the strategy, you lose big. But usually if you win pretty big too, which is another reason I like it. And I feel like if I do a good job of picking the entry point, I'm going to win in 10 spins most of the time. So let's go ahead. Let's look for a good entry point here. 0 is not it. Let's see here. It looks like it covers the low orphans is not it. 20 is down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. That's far enough, I think. And we're going to go with a middle strategy. So 10 to win, you could play it any way you really want. I could play it 10 numbers in a column. I could play it 10 numbers in a dozen. I can do it as a high orphan, a low orphan, a green neighbors, or like I'm doing now, which is the middle. This is, when I say middle strategy, what I mean is that this is covering the numbers that are at the middle of the American wheel. Okay, so let's go ahead and spin here. I get 10 spins to get this done, and I want to make a good profit over the 41 that I already have. Maybe I should have gone green neighbors. Here you go. There's a green neighbor number. Okay, so after the first spin, you don't change the bet. You just roll again. Again, we're just looking to make a little profit here. Okay, there's a 35. That doesn't help us, so now I'm going to go ahead and double my bet. And we got $20 bet out there. We're still up 21 for the session. Going into this spin. There's a 6, and that's a winner for us. Beautiful. Okay, so that pays us $52. So now we're at 73 after 3 strategies. So we need to pick it up a little bit here if we're going to get to our 200. We have 3 strategies to go. 8 is enough as the next strategy. Then we're going to play splits, and then we're going to play Tupelo Honey as the 3rd strategy. All right, so let's go ahead and play 8 is enough now. 8 is enough. I like the strategy in the middle because it's a good pair. So I'm going to play 8 numbers in this first dozen. I'm going to play like this. Again, the name of the strategy is 8 is enough. The reason we call it that is because there's 8 numbers in every dozen that we play, and we feel like that's enough. Okay, so here's the 8 I'm going to play in the second dozen, second 12. And then here's what I'm going to play down here in the third dozen, the third 12. Just like that. So that way we kind of spread it out over the columns too and make sure we got good coverage. So we're covering 24 of 38 numbers potentially available here. So we feel good about getting a hit on the first one or first couple spins anyway. So there's a 10. Of course we miss. Okay, I'm going to spin again. We go 2 spins before we raise the bet on this strategy. Again, 24 numbers of coverage and there's a win. Okay, so that's going to take us out of the first dozen. So we remove all of those bets up there. Those are conquered bets. We've won them. They're being eliminated. And now we're just going to go down here because we've already spun twice. Now we're just going to double the bet here. Actually, we're just raising by 1, but because it's the first bet, it's a double. So here we go. So we're at 61. We started with 73. Looking to make some hay here. Nope, that's a miss. That's in the middle. Okay, rebet. I'm going to spin again. I like to hit some of these on the first one because you make more if you hit on the first one, but beggars can't be choosers, right? 21, that is a loss. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to double one more time. This is the last time I will double these. Let's see if we can get ahead here. We're down now we're down -3. We started with 73. There's a 1. That isn't going to help us. Okay. A rebet and spin, and then you'll get to see how we manage this bet. Usually I get 8 is enough pretty early, but sometimes it can be stubborn. And there's a 12 again. Again, we don't want to get a big run of low numbers now, but so far we have. Okay, so I'm just going to increase these by 2. Everything goes up by $2 now. We're going to, like I said, we'll be managing this bet. We're going to be doing some math, as I'm fond of saying. You know, after a while, people say, what are the progressions on these? I'm going, I can give you the first few, but after that, you know, it's about profit. And so we're at that point now where we're doing math. Okay, we're at -131. We got a $2,000 bankroll with this stuff. Boy, now we're popping low numbers. Okay, that's 5 out. Was it 8 out of 10 there in the low box? Okay, and going up 2 again. So now we're raising our bet every bet or every spin. I'm sorry. You know, so far we had 0 stress. Now we're getting into a little higher betting range now. We're at, you know, $120 and we're down 227. So we got, you know, we're starting to get into the bankroll a little bit there. But there's a 13, and that's a win for us. So that's a nice $160 hit. And now we're only down 67, but we're back down to these last 2 bets here. So that's great. So now we're just going to go to 10s down here. And this will get us a nice win if we can hit these early. Let's see if we can. Okay. And if we look over here, we've only got one high number on the board, number 32, which is in the middle. We don't want any middles. We're looking for some high edges here. Let's get them. 23 is not it. Okay. Rebet. Just going to raise by $5 in each bet. Okay.
Here's your email. This is radio routine.
Alexa, turn off. I got Alexa, turn it on. Does your Alexa actually go off at home? I don't know. Mine just has kind of a mind of its own. Okay, here we go. I'm looking to hit something out there. Let's see, 14 is not it. Right next to 35, which wouldn't have helped us either. So I'm glad we didn't hit that 35. Okay. So we should be at 20 on each one. Did I screw this up down here? I did. Glad we didn't hit that number. Okay, and then so we got a $160 bet up there. We're down 267. Still, for me, I'm kind of just dozing through this. This is not trouble area yet, and this is why. We just hit this, made a $560 hit, and we're up 293. Boom. All right, so let me tell you a little something. I said we were going to make 200, and we're already at 293. I always make between $180 and $500 playing the system because when you get into a trouble like you do this sometimes and you have to start increasing your bets, the bigger the bets get, the more money you make. All right, that's how I play. I always make sure that I'm making enough money. And I didn't do a very good job of math there because I had too much money out on that last play. And so how well you do the math a lot of times will determine how much more or less that you get. But so we are now at 293 with 2 to play. So let's finish it out and see where we can end this baby up. You know, we do these kind of videos all the time, and usually I end up, you know, like I said, between 180 and 500 when we're doing practice runs. So there you go. And practice is so important. I mean, don't take my word for this, guys. Use this, you know, progression on a simulator and prove to yourself that it works, right? Okay, I got a hit on 12 there, so that's a nice win. And I'm not going to raise my bet. I'm going to just keep these bets the same. And usually just 2 hits here on these verticals will work for us. And before some wise guy says, that's horizontal. Okay, guys, the board, here's a little official knowledge for you. The board gets measured from the bottom up. So when you're looking up, this is the vertical, right? There's 4 numbers in a vertical. for each dozen. And you can't have 4 numbers if you go this way. So the verticals are this way, horizontal is this way on a roulette board. Okay. It's just a point of fact because I got a lot of comments about that a while back and I got laughing about it. But some of these people were insistent. And I was going, guys, come on, really? Okay, here we go. So I'm going to go up to $2 on this bet now. We're at 301. We started at 293. Let's get a hit here, 28. I think that's a win, isn't it? It is. So now we're at 329 going into our last play, which is Tupelo Honey. So Tupelo Honey, we're just looking for the best entry point on 2. I'm going to play it down here in the bottom box for sure, just because the bottom's been empty for so long. And this is how you play it on the bottom. Okay, and when I did the demo for you guys on this, I only did it in the center box, and that was a mistake. I should have done it on multiple dozen boxes so you could see all the variations of it. But this is one of the variations of it. And I'm going to play it 2 different ways. I'm going to play it with the middle, like this. And this is the way I show it in the video. And then I'm also going to do it down here in the bottom dozen. So playing it 2 different ways, $12 bet. Just want to win both ways, and then we'll call it a day. We are 14 minutes into the actual demo. Okay, so 19 is a hit for us down there. That's going to allow me to keep that bet the same, but this bet down here is going to get raised. So here we go. We have $2 on the third dozen Tupelo Honey, and we have $1 on the middle dozen Tupelo Honey because we hit that 19. The 19 is a break even. That's why we did that. Okay, so there's an 8. That doesn't help us at all. So we're just going to double everything. Here we go. Got a $36 bet out there. We're at 317 for the session so far. There's a 26. That's going to help us. That's going to hit us a couple different ways there. Actually, that $48 is enough to get us out. So we're at 365 to finish. So I said we'd make 200. We made 365. We played just under 15 minutes. I told you between 15, 20, 25, 30. Sometimes it takes longer because, some of these systems get drug out. But that's how this works. 6 systems, $200 a day, guys. If you live in a casino town like I do, just walk in, get your 15 or 20 minutes in, get out, take your money, go home, pet the dog, walk the dog around the block, buy some Chinese food, watch some sports on TV at night, take your wife out to a nice dinner, whatever it is. Just go on and live your life. 15, 20 minutes a day, get your fix, have some fun, get your money, and be gone. Okay, so hey, this is Junko Bodie. There's 2 types of people in the casino, professionals and tourists. Don't be a tourist. Hey, remember that if you like this video, please let me know you like it. But more importantly, please subscribe. If you're coming to my site and you're watching my videos, it would really help me if you subscribe, because that helps us grow the site and it puts more money toward technology, which we like to use here, of course. So that's it. Have a great day. Rock the day.